Hi, I'm Scott, and I wanted to talk to you today about some of the basic behavioral principles I've learned from watching the sheep on my farm. With this video, we will show the basic behavioral principles of sheep and how they can be used for low-stress handling on your farm. As you watch this video, remember, these are basic principles. For those of you who have more experience working with sheep, treat this video as a review or refresher. For those of you who may not have as much experience, use this video as a base for how to handle your animals in a low-stress way. Obviously, your sheep won't always react exactly how I describe in this video, but using these techniques will help to reduce overall stress for both you and your sheep. So why should farmers care about low-stress handling? Proper animal care should be integrated into all aspects of raising livestock on your farm. Not only does better animal care lead to decreased stress of both animals and handlers, but it also contributes to a decrease in illness and injury and increases productivity and the quality of meat, milk, or wool. Understanding the instinctual reactions and natural behavior of the sheep will allow you to predict and control those reactions so you can use them to your advantage when handling the animals. To understand sheep behavior, you have to recognize its four main components: intelligence, flocking behavior, following behavior, and field of vision. First off, I would like to bust one of the most common myths about sheep. That myth being that sheep are stupid. Actually, sheep are rather intelligent animals and have above average learning capabilities. They can be trained through repetition, positive reinforcement, and by using food rewards. Training and using positive interactions and experiences can start when lambs are as young as 1 day old and will help to reduce aversion to handling as lambs mature. Sheep are a prey species, humans are predators. To fully grasp the sheep's behavior, you must remember that due to our fundamental differences, a sheep's reaction will not be the same as a human's. One of the most important traits of a prey animal is the strong flocking instinct. When singled from its flock, a sheep will panic and become stressed, which they will clearly vocalize. Moving sheep in groups will help to reduce instances of panic and minimize the threat of increased stress. Groups can also help to reduce stress during movement because not only are the sheep able to stay with herd mates, but this will allow for the follow behavior to be used. Flock movement can be controlled by moving the animals at the front of the group, which are also known as lead animals. Once the lead animal moves, the rest will tend to follow. Gaining control of the lead animal may be easier when moving smaller groups, but remember that pushing the animals at the rear will only stress them and will have little effect on overall group movement. The final component we will look at is at the animal's field of vision. This can range anywhere from 191 degrees to 306 degrees around the animal, depending on factors like wool on its head and face or large ears or horns. This large vision range helps to maintain their flock or follow behaviors. For example, this allows the sheep to graze while maintaining visual contact with herd mates or keeping an eye out for any predators or threats. Having your barn or facility set up so sheep can maintain visual contact with one another will help to encourage flow through your system, because as long as they can keep each other in their line of sight, their following instinct will kick in. While understanding the basic components of sheep behavior is important, knowing how to apply them will have a direct benefit on farm. Applying visual pressure is the #1 way a handler can stimulate the movement of the animals. Sheep have a naturally strong fight or flight reaction, which you can activate by entering their flight zone or personal space. The flight zone can be described as the distance from the animal a handler can stand so the animal still feels safe. Coming closer to the animal and entering the animal's flight zone uses a minimal amount of fear stimuli to provoke the animal to move away. In order for this to be used effectively, the handler must be in the animal's line of sight so it can react appropriately. If the handler rushes or moves too far into the animal's flight zone, its natural reaction is to flee. Using the flight zone correctly means the handler is engaging movement without triggering an elevated level of stress. Keeping to the outside edge of the flight zone reduces the animal's desire to panic, which reduces reactions like stopping, freezing, fleeing, jumping, or turning around. Some of the most common mistakes we can make while handling and moving sheep are going too deep into their flight zone while exhibiting predatory-like behavior. Another common mistake is trying to move too large of a group too fast. Minimizing these aggressive behaviors can be done by restricting any aggressive behavior like yelling, striking the animal, moving too quickly, or overcrowding. Moving too fast can also cause the animal's stress level to rise. Try to give yourself some extra time when you're moving the sheep. They can sense if you're rushing and will tend to react exactly how you don't want them to. Give them time to find their bearings and adjust to their new surroundings. In situations like moving sheep onto a trailer or into a new pen, allowing the animals a few seconds to familiarize themselves with the area will help them to be comfortable enough to move forward on their own. Reducing instances where the animal is being made to run will help to reduce stress and panic behavior, which can lead to the animal turning or missing gaits. Just keep in mind that the faster you try to go, the longer it will take. Using handling systems like round tubs are a great way to reduce stress as long as you can use them correctly. Be sure you don't overcrowd the tub. By only filling it half full while giving the sheep just enough room to turn around, they will see the exit and be more comfortable moving single file into the chute. Running your sheep through the handling system a few times can help to familiarize your animals with the facilities and reduce stress and the effort needed to move sheep in these setups. Recognizing the animal's point of balance, which is usually the animal's shoulder, can help when moving them using the reversed movement technique. If you are in a smaller and closed area like a pen, moving towards the animal, once you reach its point of balance, it will run by you in an attempt to get you out of its flight zone. Just remember that this method works best in enclosed spaces. There are a few final things you should remember when handling sheep. Striking the animal in an aggressive way, whether that means hitting, kicking, slamming gaits on it, or pulling wool, can cause a great deal of pain and stress to the animal and can bruise the carcass or decrease milk quality. These types of behaviors should be avoided at all costs. Using the tips and behaviors outlined in this video can lead to less stressful experiences when handling your flock. Remember to use their flocking and following behaviors to your advantage, and use visual pressure points to stimulate movement. Applying these tips in your barn will help reduce both animal and handler stress and frustration. This will help maintain a low-stress environment on your farm.